Hey, welcome to Streaming Bootcamp. Probably noticing a little different backdrop. That's because I'm coming to you live from Florida. We're on vacation for Christmas. And so we're going to be in Florida for next few weeks. So we decided, I decided that I just do StreamYard right from here. It'd make the most sense. So we got a little different background for you. But we got another great episode today. We're going to be talking about our episode number 5. Remember, Bootcamp comes out once a month, but we're going to talk about how to create a podcast, kind of a how-to guide. We've been talking about the equipment that you need, video, audio, did StreamYard last month. Every month we come up with a different topic. Now I'm going to go and dig a little deeper into what you actually need to do to make this whole thing work. We're going to be diving into that world of podcasting. Whether you're an inspiring podcaster or just curious about the process, this talk will guide you through the essential steps to create and launch your own podcast. So let's get started. Now, what is a podcast? Well, essentially, it's a digital file available for streaming or download. They cover a wide range of formats and are distributed through many platforms such as YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Best part, there's a niche for everyone. Podcasts originally were kind of more related to people that are putting on audio podcasts. That's how it got started. But with video taking off now, even videos are considered podcasts. So such as this show. And the nice thing is you can have all these different areas that you can go ahead and broadcast these to at the same time, such as this show does go out to multiple places. YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook Live, Instagram, X. All these things are able to be used to advertise the show or actually to produce the show on. Now let's plan our podcast. What's involved with that? Well, you should start by narrowing down your niche. What are you passionate about? Best thing you can talk about is what you like to do. Next, decide your format and brainstorm for names. Remember, strong branding can make your podcast memorable. Planning ahead ensures consistency. Your brand should be everywhere. So I'm showing one of my podcasts, Euronurse, the one that started this whole podcasting career for me. And we try to get our brand out everywhere. I designed this brand. Every podcast, such as this one here, has its own branding. We kind of went with the fatigues for boot camp. But Euronurse is connected to a nursing thing. If you're in nursing, it's a Foley catheter. It's very common in urology. But you want to design a logo or have one designed, and you want to make sure that you promote yourself everywhere. So we have credit cards that have our logo on it, T-shirts that with our logo, hats with our logos. You want to have a website with your logo. Use it everywhere. People will then start to identify you with your logo. Now, essential equipment, we talked about that earlier about some of the things that you should have, but invest in good quality equipment because its most important thing is sound. You want to ensure good professional sound. Again, don't just stick with the mic that came on your computer. A dynamic mic works well for most podcasters, and some people like to wear headphones for clear monitoring. I personally don't like them, but I have some software built in that takes that echo that you sometimes get from when you're using something that has speakers coming through the other side. And there's all sorts of software out there that are beginner friendly and many of them that are free. Now, creating a suitable recording environment is crucial for sound quality. Even if you're on a budget, really simple things like using a closet or covering walls with blankets can reduce echo and noise because you don't want that really echoey sound. Now, I don't have a lot of places that I can get blankets and things in this particular setup, so you probably are noticing a little more echo than usual, but never underestimate how good a blanket or shades or drapes and things like that can work to make a wall quiet. My personal studio has glass windows all the way around, and I get over the reflections off of glass by using these shades that help to dampen that and does a nice job. And then the backdrop that I normally have behind me is for the same reason, take away some of that reflection noise. Now you're getting ready. We got everything set. We got our brand, and we want to record our first episode. Well, there are some steps that you should take before you get going. A script can really guide you. It keeps it conversational. You want to kind of write something about what you're going to talk about so that you can kind of work on this. Test your equipment before recording and take breaks if needed. Nothing worse than to get on and find out things aren't working. So do a test recording. After recording, listen to your audio and your video and see how you look and how you sound. And then maybe make notes on what you can do to improve things. Maybe mic placement was off or something. I don't know if you can see from my microphone, but I always have it off to a slight angle so that you're not getting the plosives when you speak into a mic. Now, live versus recorded. So there's two ways to put your podcast out. This one happens to be recorded. Some of them I put out live. Live has an advantage. I think it has a more of a, like live TV, it has a better flow to it. It also is the best way to build up an audience because you have audiences that are in the watching it that can send comments in and make the show kind of work off of what they want. Of course, recorded allows you to get in there and edit out mistakes and change things. So you can get things like dead air out of it, and you can add intros and outros and things like that really make it more professional. So it can make or break your podcast with good editing. Start by trimming any unnecessary silence, ensuring a smooth flow. Many editing options come with built-in tools for noise reduction and volume adjustments. And that's one of the big things I like about using a pre-recorded is I've got a software that I use that is, and I'm probably going to do a talk on it because it's really a good program. But one of the things it has is a button you click and it says smooth out the sound. And it takes that high-low sound that you get. I use that for all my audio podcasts because I hate it when you're listening to a podcast and all of a sudden it gets really loud and the next person gets on, you can barely hear them. So you're constantly adjusting your volume. This smooths it all out and doesn't make it flat, which is the most important thing. You want people to have more expression sometimes and less. You don't want to take it all out, but you want to try to smooth it. Hosting and distribution, of course, that's a biggie. It's good to put all the stuff on, but if you don't get it out there, nobody's going to hear it. So a hosting platform stores your files and generates an RSS feed for distribution. Many platforms simplify this process by helping you submit to major directories. I discussed how StreamYard can actually distribute it for you. If you're not aware of some of these things, these terms, I'm going to tell you a few of these things. There's something called RTMP, which is used when you're doing any streaming now. And that stands for Real-Time Messaging Protocol. It's a communication protocol that was originally developed by Macromedia, which is now owned by Adobe, for streaming audio, video, and data over the internet in real time. It's widely used in live streaming applications due to its ability to transmit high-quality, low-latency streams. RSS stands for Really Simple Syndication or Rich Site Summary. And it's the web feed format used to deliver regularly updated content such as blog posts, news articles, or podcast episodes in a standardized machine-readable format. It enables users to stay updated on their favorite content without having to visit the website manually. So that's RSS is really where most of these, especially the audio podcasts, are syndicated. I use Spotify because it'll push out to all those other formats I just showed you there. Spotify is just a sign up. It'll give you an RSS processor to send it to all those other ones. So it really makes it easy. Now, the other thing is marketing. So if nobody ever heard of your product, nobody's going to watch it. So you need to get out there and do some marketing. It's key to building your audience. Leveraging social media and collaborations to expand your reach. A simple website can also enhance your podcast professionalism. I would go as far as to say is if you don't have a website, you don't have a show. So you need to have a way for people to be able to find you. And then use the social medias to try to help promote you even further. Now, if you're doing a good show, chances are it's going to cost you some money because you're going to have to buy into software. You're going to be buying in the equipment. And internet, having high-speed internet, et cetera, that makes these things better, all cost money. So monetization takes time, but it is achievable. You want to be able to at least cover your costs. Sponsors and listeners support our common revenue streams. As your audience grows, consider diversifying income through merch or premium content. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things, but you can, sell stuff on your website. You can partner with other people that are, maybe we talk about a different product and we see if we become a sponsor or have some kind of a kickback from it. There's these things called Patreon, which is a system where that people can just donate to your website directly. Buy Me a Coffee is another one. I'll talk a little bit about some of these things for you. But they all are ways to kind of monetize, at least to get back your cost for having this. So let's talk about this one, Buy Me a Coffee. And I only said it because somebody had asked me about that. What's that mean? So I figured, well, I hadn't used it before, so I thought I'd look it up. But it's actually kind of an interesting website. It's a fund your creative work. You start a page. It's free, pretty easy to set up. I haven't done it yet, but I might. So here's their QA or FAQs, I should say. What is it? Who uses Buy Me a Coffee? So anyone with an audience, YouTubers, musicians, podcasters, anybody can have a Buy Me a Coffee. How do you get paid? You get paid right to your local bank account. They offer bank deposits from creators from over 110 countries. How does your audience pay you? Well, all support comes from major credit cards, debit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Cash App, and other global payment systems. So the stuff that everybody already has on their phones. And is there a fee to use it? Well, they don't charge a monthly fee or anything like that. They make a small charge, a 5% transaction fee, and the creators collect 95%. So for every dollar, you get 95 cents. I think that's a pretty fair deal since they're doing all the heavy lifting and taking the credit card cost involved with using a credit card. So it's a kind of nifty way. Again, I might try it. You have to decide what you think on some of these things. It could be a way to help allow people to, buy you a coffee, right? Now, the other thing I do use is because I have such a large audience, I have become a YouTube content creator. And so then you can partner with YouTube. They put ads on your site anyway, unless people are paying to have the ad-free version of YouTube. They're watching those ads. You may as well get paid for that. So they do have a partnership where they will pay you for the ads. You get paid a small amount for every ad that plays. There's also the ability to have some of these things called gifts and supers. And those are ways that people can then even further pay you and like give you a tip. I have had some of those come through, what they call the supers. So, hey, always glad to do it. You do a good job to get rewarded, right? So what are some of the common challenges and some tips I have? Podcasting, trust me, it's not without challenges. But the number one thing I'll tell you that I would say you need to do is have consistency, and audience engagement are vital for growth. If you don't have consistency, you won't have an audience. So if you're going to do this, make sure you say, I'm going to do this every week, every month, every day, however you're going to do it, stick with it. As soon as you don't, people are going to drop out. That's why I'm on vacation doing this from vacation. We'll warn you, this can be busy. There are some people that get burned out from doing all these podcasts. So make sure you take breaks, recharge. That's why I get away. But I like the fact that I can get away and still do this. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. I enjoyed doing it. Like I said, I like to get away and travel around and see things. And I'm enjoying Florida. We're in a really nice place here. It's got a pool. I've been working out every day in this pool. I really enjoy that. But this is one of those things. If you're a podcaster, you can do it from anywhere in the world. Why not? So I do. We're going to keep Bootcamp going. I got lots of ideas for every month to do something, and we're going to keep it rolling. So just check out our website again at Rotkiv, which is Victor spelled backwards, .net, ROTCIV.net, to see what our next episode will be. And we'll catch everybody next month. Hey, hope you all had a nice Christmas and a happy new year. We're starting off on the new year with this episode of Bootcamp. Have a great one.